What's the deal, y'all?
What's good?
What up, though?
It's your girl, the Caribbean Chocolate, Jocelyn Navarro.
Good. It's the one that makes all
Now somebody hit my music.
I'm contemplating and chasing, handling biz right now. We never waiting and patient, jumping at the crib right now. Put up my label, we make it stay legit right now. Could call the doctor, we operating, they sick and sit right now.
You already know it's by the sound of my voice. That's right. You're 6'9", JT back in this piece once again. And we are back with another edition of course, Marks with Mics. I told y'all this year we was going to come in hot. I mean hotter than lava, hotter than spicy chili pepper, hotter than your breath at 5 o'clock in the morning before you even brush your teeth. But speaking in coming in hot, told y'all we had a special guest. And we're going to do this the right way. You know what I mean? You feel me? We've been really fucking with it for a minute. And homie's been on the scene for the last couple of years, all the way down from South Florida. I want to say Miami, representing the Dominican Republic. You know what I'm saying? We got Cha-Cha Charlie in the house.
Okay. With the grand entrance.
Yo.
My dog JT. Let's go. Let's do this.
Let's do it, man. Yo, listen, I'm glad y'all don't get to see the behind the scenes because StreamYard was StreamYarding and Evie Mux was Evie Muxing. I ain't never had this happen before, but we ain't about to go ahead and do all the flip, fly, blue, blah. Let's go in and get this thing right, and let's go ahead and get this thing popping. So, first things first, I've already let the people know where you from, but let the people know how you got your start inside the game.
Well, you know, it's Cha-Cha Charlie. It's Cha-Cha time. You know, I live in Miami. But I rep Washington Heights, New York City, a Dominican town. Dominican. My mom is Dominican. My dad is Dominican. My uncle is a popular wrestler in the Dominican Republic. So, you know, I guess I started because of him. The wrestling is in the blood. You call me a second generation wrestler. But, you know, the time is now. It's Cha-Cha time.
Yes, sir. So what was it like growing up, you know, knowing that you got a famous relative as a wrestler down there in the Caribbean area?
Well, you know, my uncle was wrestling in the Dominican Republic, but I didn't really get to see it because, you know, I was young and I was here in the United States. But I heard all about him. I've seen his stuff. I've been in the ring, you know, once or twice as a little kid. So it was fun. And and then, you know, grew up in New York City. You know how New York City is. You know, you got to be smart, you got to be savvy, you got to learn in all ways.
And concrete jungle, as they say.
You already know it.
So you got the chance. Well, you didn't get the chance to see your uncle really wrestle, but you caught the wrestling bug. At what age was it that you said, "Yo, this is it. I'm into this, like wrestling"?
Well, as a little kid, right away. As soon as I was born, I was watching wrestling. I grew up, you know, watching Bret Hart, Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant, The Undertaker. You know, that's my era. Back in the late '80s, and it's just a part of me. Wrestling is a part of my blood. I breathe wrestling, and wrestling it's in my heart. It's all about wrestling for me.
So you mentioned eras, and I'm glad you said like my era growing up, because now you got like this new era of kids, and they don't really know the greats. You know, they don't know about, you know, before the Attitude Era. They don't know like, you know, before the Ruthless Aggression. A lot of them are starting off with the, you know, the PG era. So it's amazing. You know, we have adults who have got into wrestling in the PG era, but man, what a time it was back then in the 80s and the 90s, when you had these larger than life characters. You mentioned Undertaker. You know, you have people like Jake the Snake and things like that. As a kid, did you ever practice any wrestling moves on any friends or relatives?
Oh yeah, absolutely, all the time. I used to beat up my cousin, put him on different, you know, submission moves. Basically, I was practicing. You know, I was doing backyard wrestling too in New York City. Even my friends, you know, that you know, they're all grown. They didn't want to do wrestling. They were forced to wrestle if they were going to be my friends, because out of nowhere, I'll probably put you on the sharpshooter, and you might not like it, but it is what it is.
Now, I ain't gonna hold you. I did the same thing to my little sister, but she's a tougher woman today because of this. Okay,
Exactly.
nobody try my sister when it comes down to the hands and feet. So, you know, they say don't try this at home, but I think it made a tougher woman and a tougher man. So with wrestling being a big part of your life, did you ever think about going to anything else? Baseball, basketball, soccer, football?
Yeah, I mean, I used to play baseball. I was pretty good. I was a basketball player too. I played all sports. You know, I was into it all. But you know, wrestling is what I've always wanted to do. It came to me later in my life. The opportunity was presented to me. Once it was presented to me, I ran with the ball, took it, and now we're here.
So you played all sports, and being all around athlete definitely goes a lot into this game, especially with wrestling. I think a lot of people miss the aspect of these are not just entertainers; these are athletes. So putting in the work in the gym, putting in the work, you know, before you even cross the lines, hop inside that wrestling ring. How often would you say you hit in the gym per week?
I have to hit the gym 3 to 4 times a week, because then you know, then you get to show week, Saturday and Sunday, you and Friday, depending on how booked you are. Those days are for wrestling days, and then the other days is for me to work out and look good and get in shape, wrestling shape.
Now, I was speaking to Joshua Bishop, and he was telling me the best way for him to bulk up was grabbing like a large Little Caesars pizza after doing a workout,
Right.
and eating the whole pizza, then going right back in and hitting the iron. What's your take on that? Because I'm gonna try it. I mean, I get to the eating the large pizza part, the gym part I kind of miss. But what about you?
Yeah, no, if this is something you really want to do, you got to stay focused. Cut all the distraction, and make it a part of your life, your living. You have to work out. You know, you got to be. You're getting thrown around. You're also slamming other people. Your body's on the line. Their body's on the line. So you gotta stay in shape for this. If this is something you want to do, just push through it. And it's a mental thing. You just got to do it every day.
Yes, sir. So what was your family's reaction when you told them, yo, I'm gonna go ahead and do this wrestling thing for real, for real?
My mom wasn't too thrilled. She's still not too thrilled about it, because you know, she doesn't like seeing her son in pain. But you know, it's a sacrifice you got to make. You gotta take all chances. You gotta run with the ball. And if this is something you want to do, you just got to do it, man. And you know, I love my family to death, but at the end of the day, you know, this is my dream, and I'm here to make my dreams come true.
Eminem once said you only get one shot, one opportunity, right? 8 Mile. So
That's it. No, same thing. One shot.
get
If
it.
this is
So
what you want to do, you got to take that shot.
you got to, you know, you don't want to be like B Rabbit in the beginning and just looking at everybody else rapping, and you step up and it's like, I don't know. But taking the first leap is the biggest leap. So where did you get your initial training at?
CCW, Coastal Championship Wrestling. I started there. I'm still there. I started off as a cameraman. I was doing the film. I was a part of the film team. You know, I started editing their videos, editing their shows. And while I was filming, I was always like, man, I think I belong in the ring instead of behind the camera. I spoke to the coach at the time, and told him, hey, teach me, and I'll do the videos. And that's what happened. And then that was the beginning of Cha Cha Charlie.
And happy belated birthday to Shad Gaspard. Rest in peace. Real hero.
Peace.
I think if anyone deserved to go into that wing inside the Hall of Fame, it's him.
Absolutely.
Because to do what he did, which any father would do, me being a father myself, but to know that he went in there and almost knowing that my child before me,
Absolutely.
There's nothing nobody can tell me different. So you end up being Chad Gaspard. Who are some other influential people while doing your training that you got the chance to come across?
I've come across many people. When you're a part of the business, you come across everyone, and a lot of influential people: Ric Flair, Rob Van Dam, Dustin Rhodes, The Rock's dad, Rocky Johnson. So many. But yeah, no, everyone teaches. Everyone has something that bring to the table, and someone has something good to that you got to pick a little bit from everyone, and and just learn, be a sponge, soak everything in.
You hear that analogy a lot about being a sponge and kind of being receptive to I don't want to use the word criticism, but I want to use the word tips and tidbits. Like, to do this type of work in just any type of sport, you're going to get that, what, that was good, but maybe you should do this. I don't like the way that look. You need to run the route like this. Like if you playing football, you got to run the route like this. This the way I want the route ran. Each step inside the game, you getting coached. So, you have to be receptive, and it takes, a lot. What I will say is this. I will say that, as a man, we swallowing our pride is a big one. So you say that this game is a lot of give and take. Once you're in the business, you're either giving or you're taking. Most likely you're giving, but you're taking the knowledge as well. So who would you say coming up was a person that you thought you would never face that you got to face?
I grew up watching Carlito Caribbean Cool. He's someone that I do look up to. Well, I was a diehard fan. As you can see, I have some of my style. I take some of his style, and the little do you know, I start tag teaming with him. He starts saving me, in situations, and then I'm also facing him in multiple matches. So life is just crazy. I can't believe I've been in the ring and wrestled Caribbean Cool in Carlito Caribbean Cool in multiple occasions, and now we're boys, which is awesome. Who else? Alberto Del Rio. I'm a big fan, and to be in the ring, to be in opposite sides, that was huge for me too. Yeah, and being in the back in the locker room with Jeff Hardy, getting dressed in front of Jerry Lawler, little things like that means the world to me.
Man, you just named off some legends just now. And then you mentioned Carlito Caribbean Cool, and then I just looked at your name, Cha Cha Charlie, with the triple C's. So it's like, I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
There you go.
But Carlito has always been one of those guys that I've always wanted to pick his brain just on anything, because he seems like he's so knowledgeable. When it comes down to the business, and I'm pretty sure the stories are crazy. The stories that he has. Being inside the same locker room as a Jeff Hardy, a Jerry Lawler, Alberto El Patron. Got to meet him a few years ago, man. That guy right there, that's one guy I would love to just sit down and just have a one-on-one with. But we are here talking about Cha Cha Charlie. So let's talk about it. Recently, a rapper, an artist, because what he does is art, recently came out and said, you are his favorite wrestler. How did that make you feel? And if y'all don't know what we're talking about West Side Gun, fourth row.
That's huge for me, for him to watch my match, live, the first time, for me to get to know him, to meet him, was cool as hell. And then he liked what he saw. He was impressed. Down the road, he started his own little company, Fourth Rope. And then he had a show, Heels Have Eyes 3, where I made my debut for him. Well, I faced Enzo. We killed the whole show, and then voila, here I am, Cha Cha Charlie, Fourth Rope. Let's go.
So that's pretty big to get a cosign like that from a person right now is arguably leading the culture right now when it comes to hip hop, wrestling going hand in hand. When we say hip hop, we mean real hip hop. To have that right there, and the work that he's doing with Fourth Rope, that is huge, man. And you were actually featured on the show in Chicago, Hills Have Eyes 3. And you got to go up against one formerly known as Enzo, aka Real One. This wasn't y'all first time working together either.
Nah.
Because didn't you all cross paths in CCW?
Yeah, a few times. When he made his debut for CCW, I was his tag team partner. We faced the Night Riders that night. We came out victorious, and that's where the chemistry between me and Enzo started. But then Enzo saw the hype, he saw the crowd, he saw everyone react. He wanted a piece of it. So then he wanted to be on the opposite side. Instead of tag teaming, he wanted to wrestle me. West Side Gun made that happen. Fourth Rope in Chicago, and Enzo, Real One, and Cha Cha, we made magic that night.
Yeah, and if y'all haven't watched that match, it's available on YouTube. I highly encourage you to go to Fourth Rope's YouTube and go check out Hills Have Eyes.
Fourth Rope, Hills Have Eyes 3, Still Praying. It's a banger. One hell of a show.
A hell of a show, man. Like that as like, I was one of the people that was mad because I couldn't get to Chicago. I was like, damn, I want to go to this show. And then, I seen all the people that, I frequent with inside the podcast world. And, the homie AJ Francis was there. Shout out to him. I just had him on the show. I seen y'all had a few, y'all had a run in at CCW as well. So this is pretty dope that all the dots are connecting. First AJ Francis, then Joshua Bishop, now Cha Cha Charlie. I think I'm gonna go ahead and get the whole Fourth Rope card from Hills Have Eyes 3, because when I tell you the production value, seeing the after, but then seeing the videos before that, the clips online, what was the atmosphere like that there?
First off, it was like a hip hop locker room. It was like being at a hip hop event, but at the same time, we were there to do it for business. We were there to work. The production was amazing, from the intro to the ring to the lighting to the stage. Everything was pretty cool, and I'm honored to be a part of it.
And this was doing the same week TNA was doing Slammiversary.
Yeah, so it's same stage. It was just Fourth Rope, and then the next day was TNA.
Yeah, so y'all actually led the way in a sense for that TNA moment. Speaking of TNA, who's a TNA legend or even current that you wouldn't mind facing right now? Like you would want to have one hell of a match, title, no title, feud, however you want to do it. Who is that person?
AJ Styles. I would love to get in the ring with AJ Styles, or even James Storms. Those are two legends right there. I think I could keep up to them. I think we will put on a show, tell a hell of a story. Why not?
Yo, I'm with it. James Storm recently put out in the tweet that he still got some more in the tank, even though he's doing his acting thing right now. But Cowboy James Storm, Cha Cha Charlie, I can see that.
I can see that too.
I don't know. West Side Gun may have to put a bug in his ear, because you bring out James Storm, Cowboy. Listen, man, that roof's gonna blow off.
Oh yeah,
it's gonna blow off. And Cha Cha Charlie in the same match, yeah, that's the one. Moving on from dream matches with TNA, we talked about the emergence of Fourth Rope, the atmosphere inside the building, feeling like a hip hop locker room and everything like that. And we also talked about the influence that you got from people within CCW, coming across people like Carlito and of course Flair, Hardy, and the list goes on and on. Would you are you residing right now in Miami, or are you residing in New York?
South Florida. I'm in the South Florida area, Miami area. That's where I
Okay,
reside. But I'm traveling. I'm taking bookings all over. Fourth rope. We just had Atlanta. We were there not too long ago.
center
We're
stage,
about to do some. We're about to do Texas. We're about to do
Vegas.
uh, Vegas. We got some big things cooking right now.
Man, listen, the chef is inside the kitchen. He's throwing all the right ingredients because when they just announced it recently, was a collective Forticulture is going to be ran by Fourth Rope. That's big. That's huge because Forticulture has been around, I want to say, for some years. And to see the way it's grown, especially to have Fourth Rope kind of come in, swoop in, and make it even bigger, this is going to be the biggest for the culture, hands down, because of who's involved in it. You got Dizza, you got West Side Gun, you have the ever-growing roster of Fourth Rope wrestlers, and those titles are sick, by the way. Those are real sick titles. So you residing in South Florida, me originally being from South Florida, what's the biggest culture shock that you notice off rip staying in Florida versus staying up north?
The weather. I mean, I don't think I own a coat anymore. I've been here for a while, and I got rid of my coats. Oh, don't have too many long sleeves.
No.
You get real comfortable over here, and that's how I like it. I like being comfortable.
Yeah, man, it's comfortable as hell, man. Like for me, I moved up north, and the food is totally different from being home in Florida. Like, you know, Florida, it's more, you get a more of a melting pot of food. Like, you know, you got all different type of Caribbean foods, all different type of Spanish foods. You can be on one script and you can see a Dominican restaurant, a Puerto Rican restaurant, a Cuban restaurant, Jamaican, Haitian, Guyanese. Like, you have all these different culture shocks when it comes to the food, and not only like the style, the culture. Miami never sleeps at all, period. Remember plenty of nights clubbing and getting home at 6 o'clock in the morning, and some nights getting home at 11 before those after hours clubs, if you know what I'm talking about. But I did happen to catch a clip of you, and this was, I want to say it was a few years ago. Not even a few years ago. Well, it's 2025, so I want to say it was either 2023 or 2022. You got the chance to wrestle for AEW. What was that experience like for you?
It was a dream come true. You know, I was there to do my job. It was for AEW Dynamite. It was me against Keith Lee and Dustin Rhodes, and my partner Brady Pierce, and it was in my hometown. So you know, for me to get a standing ovation, I didn't do nothing. Getting a big pop from the crowd.
You got a huge pop.
That's one of the best experience ever. You know,
Yeah,
can't complain about that.
I remember like seeing the viral clip when I was on Twitter, and then I went back to watch the episode of Dynamite on my DVR. So I'm like, yo, the crowd is going crazy for this Charlie guy. I'm like, oh, he got to be from here. But for the crowd to go that crazy and you damn near get a level of a pop as the same guys who were signed to the roster, hats off to you, because I mean, you're doing something right. You got to be doing something right if a crowd of whatever 5, 10, 11,000 people are in unison,
Yeah,
giving you a pop.
yeah. I was making my way into the ring during commercial break, and everyone starts noticing me. They're like, "Oh, that's Cha-Cha, that's Cha-Cha, that's Cha-Cha." By the time I hit the ring, the whole stadium was screaming Cha-Cha, and it was nuts.
Yo, that had to been nuts. That had to been nuts.
Yeah.
So we mentioned hip hop, right? We mentioned hip hop. When it comes down to music, hip hop, whatever, who are some of the people that you are listening to when you in the gym, when you just on the road driving to your next show? Who are some of those people?
I listen to it all. Right now, I'm definitely listening to a lot of West Side Gun, Griselda, his new album. Yeah, I love his music. I love his style. But I'm old school too. I listen to Wu-Tang, Mobb Deep, 50 Cent, of course, The Locks. That's my era, the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s. This type of music I'm into.
Yeah, real music.
Word.
No, speaking of that, yo. So did you hear that the Leangelo Ball, that tweaker, like that? That took me back to like 2006, 2007. Like I literally wanted to go get a tall T-shirt, oversized T-shirt with the crazy glasses and everything. But that's a banger of a beat. I don't know who produced it, but shout out to him. I myself have been on the West Side Gun tip. Shout out to the homie Don from Powerbomb Jitsu for pushing me to that cliff of you got to dive deep inside this inside West Side Gun. Pause. Yeah. Inside his music, and he is literally putting out quality music. It's not just a catchy hook. Like, it's actually bars within those bars. If you're listening. So one last question, because I'm not going to hold you up too much longer. I know you're a busy man, and I just want to thank you, first of all, taking the time out and dealing with that technical difficulties on my end. But one last question for you. If you had the chance to go back and start this over, as far as going to become a professional wrestler, what's one thing that you would do different?
I wish I would have started younger. I started when I was 30. I wish I would have started when I was 20, because I think I would have gotten a better opportunity to make it to the big leagues, to the WWE. If I was more of a youth with my gimmick. But yeah, I'm sky's the limit. I'm working to go straight to the top, and nothing's stopping me. So it doesn't matter what age you're in. If you believe in something, just go shoot for it. You never know what could happen.
Nah, man. No other true words have ever been spoken. Definitely follow your dreams. Yeah, things are a lot more easier than your 20s. When you hit those 30s, man, your knees talk to you when you stand up. When you walk, I don't know. That's just me. I'm closer to 40, so you're not there yet. But when your knees start to do that pop thing, when you get up out of bed, holler at me and just remember this conversation, because I'm trying to tell you, it ain't for the faint in heart whatsoever. Right. Real quick, let the people know where they can find you, what you got coming up. You already mentioned the Fourth Rope, what you got going down in Texas, which I'm assuming this is going to be around all in time. I could be wrong. I don't know.
Something is cooking, and it's gonna be announced pretty soon. It's gonna be pretty soon. I'm gonna stay sharp, and just know Texas is about to go down. I got a lot of it. I'm gonna be at the Chris Jericho cruise. I think it's Norwegian Cruise Line. It's a 5-day cruise. AEW's producing. Hopefully, I'm there putting on a show. But besides that, we're back in Miami, Bash at the Brew. All the Bash at the Brew, CCW, Coastal Championship Wrestling. Just follow that. Follow me. It's Cha-Cha Time on Instagram. It's Cha-Cha Time on X. Cha-Cha Charlie on Facebook. Cha-Cha Charlie TV on YouTube. Get with the program. Hit me up. Get the merch. Support. And when everything's all said and done, there's going to be one big party, and we will be celebrating and dancing all night long. It's Cha-Cha Time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Listen, make sure y'all are definitely doing that. Make sure y'all definitely following him at all his social media platforms, whether it be IG, Twitter, YouTube.
It's cha-cha time. ITS cha-cha time.
It's Cha-Cha Time on YouTube. It's Cha-Cha Time on IG.
Cha-cha time everywhere. Hashtag, baby.
It's everywhere. So make sure you follow. Cop the merch. I got my merch coming. So
Word.
I'm gonna tell y'all what I'm gonna do. When that merch come, I'm gonna post a picture, let y'all see it, let you see that drip. Make sure you go ahead and get that Cha-Cha Charlie. Pretty sure there's gonna be a shirt coming out pretty soon from West Side Gun with your face on it. Because you know
something's in the works. I
Yeah,
got a good feeling about that.
breaking news. I'm breaking news right here. Y'all get it in here first, okay? When that Cha-Cha Charlie merch drop for Fourth Row, you heard it here first. He ain't even say nothing. I just put it in the atmosphere. It's coming. It's coming real quick. But on that note, man, listen. Too much negativity can have y'all unbalanced mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and physically. Spread more to positive vibes. It takes very little to build someone up than it does to tear them down. Think about the logic inside that message. It can be easy as opening up a door for them, letting them get over in traffic, paying it forward, or I don't know. You can also do a good gesture. Go donate, man. It's things going on in this world, right? The fires in California, a lot of people lost their home. Find some type of way to help. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of issues inside this world. Everyone's going through something, but remember, your issue may not be the worst, but someone sees your issue, and eventually that issue will pass, and you'll get over that, and you'll come out stronger. So on that note, listen, we love y'all. Want y'all to be safe out there in those streets. And one more time, it's Cha-Cha time.
It's Cha-Cha Charlie, and you're watching Marks with Mics. Let's go.
Let's go. Yes.